What if decentralization was the bait and blockchain was the cage? And why should a private company have access to all of our crypto transactions? Truth seekers. This is Coinopath. Welcome to the place where we uncover the darkest secrets hiding inside the blockchain. There's no speculation here. Here's revelation. Today we open the file on one of the most powerful, invisible forces in crypto. The blockchain surveillance empire that sees everything no one voted for, but everyone's already under. An empire that scans the blockchain, tracks every wallet, analyzes every trace. Its name, Chainalysis. Officially, a data analytics company. Unofficially, a global surveillance apparatus for digital assets. They don't issue tokens. They don't build wallets. They don't talk to you. But if you've ever touched a centralized exchange, they know you. They've mapped the blockchain more completely than any government. Because they are the government, just in a more profitable skin. Founded in 2014, Chainalysis started as a compliance tool. Amid the chaos following the collapse of Mt. Gox, Bitcoin had just experienced its first major crisis. Billions had disappeared. Trust shattered. Transparency demanded. And that's exactly when Chainalysis stepped in, as a savior in times of need. With one promise: we make crypto secure. But what does secure mean? And for whom? Chainalysis began to break down the blockchain into its individual components. Every transaction was analyzed. Every address was given a label. What was once anonymous suddenly became visible. Criminal activities were to be stopped. But soon, completely different groups became interested in these capabilities. DEA, FBI, IRS. Chainalysis became the go-to spy tool for every three-letter agency in the alphabet soup, even the Department of Homeland Security, and later, Interpol, Europol, and governments around the world. Chainalysis was no longer a neutral company. It became an extension of state power. They tracked drug money, hackers, terrorist financing, yes, but also whistleblowers, protest movements, and dissidents. In 2022, the developer of Tornado Cash was arrested, not for laundering money, but for writing code. The analysis came from Chainalysis. But here's the catch. They're not law enforcement. They're a private company funded by venture capital, selling surveillance as a service. If money flow means control, who controls the controller? When you make a transaction on the blockchain, it's there forever. But when Chainalysis runs it through their heuristics, clustering, and wallet matching algorithms, that eternal character becomes you. And their latest algorithms? They detect wallets before they're even created. If you're still watching, subscribe now, because what's coming next will go even deeper. With its software reactor, Chainalysis was able to uncover entire networks. Even if you've never used your real name, they build a profile, a data shadow, and once they link an identity to an address, wallets are linked, movements tracked, patterns recognized. Everything you've ever done on-chain becomes a searchable file. On the surface, everything looks secure, but underneath lies something else: total surveillance. And it doesn't stop with Bitcoin. Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, every smart contract, every DEX trade, every wrapped token, they're watching. Your DeFi activity? Traceable. Your stablecoin usage? Loggable. Your privacy coin? Flagged for further analysis. And the scary part? They're just the beginning. Trem Labs, Elliptic, Nansen. All these companies want a piece of the same pie. The future of blockchain compliance is full-spectrum surveillance. Because while crypto stood for freedom, Chainalysis worked to transform each of those freedoms into a data profile, and all under the guise of security. Chainalysis was funded by venture capitalists, including Accel, Benchmark, and even Japan's SBI. But who's really in charge behind the scenes isn't always visible. What is visible Chainalysis receives multi-million-dollar contracts from government agencies around the world. According to official figures, the company earned over $50 million in government contracts in the US alone. A company that knows everything, but is accountable to no one. That's not a service. That's power. And power without transparency? That's not security. That's a weapon pointed inward. Because when data becomes domination, it's not just criminals being hunted. It's control, dressed as protection. Because what began as a decentralized web of freedom through Chainalysis becomes a centralized map of all movements, a cage of code built by those who were never elected. The dream was decentralization. The reality looks like outsourced intelligence, hidden behind crypto branding. So next time you hear blockchain is freedom, ask yourself, who's watching the chain? Fact or fiction? You decide. But sometimes, the most powerful conspiracies are the ones hiding in plain sight. And if you think that's all, just wait. In Part 2, we'll uncover how Chainalysis exposed political opponents, pressured crypto exchanges, and even used half-moon technology to predict wallets before they were even created, and how blockchain itself became a weaponized database. Stay tuned.